All right, readers, it's time for my pile of possibilities for series September 2025. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to almost September. As I am filming this, we still have a bit of time to go, but I'm super excited about September. It's one of my favorite months because my kids have birthdays in September. I have a birthday in September, but I also love September because it's series September. So this is a reading challenge that is hosted by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand. As you know, they've been great friends and supporters for me, and I support them and have done for a long, long time. What is exactly what I need about Series September is that this will help me to read more of my backlist. I'm so excited about that. So I can't even tell you. Every book on this pile of possibilities is a backlist read for me. Every single one. I can't say that's ever happened to me before. So, you know I'm committed to backlist because this month of August, I haven't been able to read as many backlist titles just because of some of the things that happened or came up in ARCs and book clubs and things like that. But in this case, September, I hope will be all devoted to backlist titles. We shall see. First of all, I want to say that Krista and Sarah usually have a bingo board, and this year is no exception. And it has this year a little bit of a twist to it. So it's not prompts about the actual plot of the book completely. There are a couple that could be, construed that way, but there are prompts that are really about the cover and about the way the book is presented. So the prompts are moody and dark, which could be the cover, and it also could be the plot. Illustrated cover, fall colors on the cover, blue tones, bold type, light academia vibes, forest or nature, beautiful cover, and cozy vibes only. So I have some ideas of how some of these are going to fit into those prompts. And of course, you can double those prompts up or read a book that covers more than one. Really, this is an easy challenge. It's not a readathon in the sense that you're not reading a specific genre, so you're able to choose whatever you want. And it's just really a goal-setting opportunity to finish some of the series on your list. And for me, that's just what I want to do right now. I'm so excited. So let's get started. And we're going to get started with the Cozy Vibes one because this is a cozy mystery, Through the Grinder by Cleo Coyle. This is book 2 in the Coffee House Mystery series. I have read this, I think, before, but I'm not certain because I was looking at it and I don't see it as marked as read. But I do kind of remember this plot. However, I'm really excited about rereads. I haven't read it for a very long time, if so, because I don't have it marked on Goodreads. And I love this author. It's really light, it's cozy, it's set in New York. It's about a coffee house. I mean, what else could be better? Look at this cover. I just love it. So if I finish Through the Grinder, I could get on to the next one as well. We shall see, but this is the one that I'm going to focus on the most. And I'm traveling this month. I have a flight, and then I also will have some meetings in my destination. And so I could take these on the plane easily, these little couple of these that I have that are the size, and get these knocked out. So I'm excited about that. And more reading time probably because flights and layovers and all that. Oh my. There's trouble brewing at the Village Blend. Business is booming. Claire's customers, though, are starting to die. And one of them maybe jumped out of the subway or maybe she was pushed. The question remains to be answered. But Cleo's friend, Detective Quinn, who starts, in the first book, is really worried that somebody has decided to do this and push this person because another female customer has committed suicide. And so he starts to investigate. The prime suspect, however, is Claire's new beau. So she's not real happy with Detective Quinn right now. But if her boyfriend killed somebody, she's going to want to know. And of course, Claire helps the detective figure out what happened. It's a great little cozy, and I can't wait to get to that one because it's just sounds so much fun. This one, I would say, would fulfill the bingo check for fall colors on the cover. This looks very fallish to me. This is Murder on Capitol Hill, which is by Margaret Truman, obviously, and this is the second in the Capital Crimes novels. I read book one last year, I think. I got a bunch of these last year at my birthday, and this would be a good way to continue this series. My sister pressed these into my hands, my sister who lives in Colorado, and I've always been grateful to her for that because I really enjoy them, but I haven't really focused on this series. So this maybe is the year. A good old-fashioned mystery is what Cosmopolitan calls it. These were published a long time ago, too. So some of them, they have some things that they discuss that are a little cringy now in the sense of equity and in the sense of what you would say to people in a work environment. But this one was published in 1981. So the year my oldest daughter was born, this one came out. So that's fun. So this one is about Senator Cale Caldwell. He has a blue-blooded wife who has as much control on Capitol Hill as they could possibly have. So they obviously are probably really running the world. And it wasn't, though, sufficient to protect him from being killed in a champagne spectacular that was being held in his honor. I would love to get to that one, and I could take that one on the plane as well, so that would be great. This one could definitely be the blue cover or beautiful cover. I mean, it's really gorgeous, but there's lots of blue. There's some purple there as well, obviously. This is the third in this series, so this would be the next one for me by Louise Penny, The Crulest Month. This is set around Easter time, so it's not the best read at this time of year, possibly because it's certainly not Easter, but I don't really care. This is back to Three Pines, back to Inspector Gamache, which of course is going to be in all of these. And some folks go to celebrate Easter with a seance at someone's home, and one of the party dies of fright in the seance experience. And so then there must be some sort of a concern that maybe this wasn't a natural cause death. And so Gamache is called to come in and investigate. I love this series so far, and I would love to get back to that. Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. This is the second in the Beartown series. I did love Beartown. I don't know why I haven't gone back to this series, but I haven't. So if I were to read this one, I could decide to add the third one to the list, but that one is huge. This one's not a terribly unreasonable size, but the third one is absolutely huge. The third one is called Winners, by the way. So I do love Bachman. I do love that setting, that Beartown setting. This is about an ice hockey team. Their character development is set up very well in the first book in the series. So I really enjoyed learning about all of them and getting to know them and the people that live in this town. So it really focuses mostly around the hockey players, the team, leaders and the team members, as well as their families and some people that live in the community. And it's emotional, it's well developed, they're well written, and I have those characters have stayed with me all this time. So I don't even feel like I need to reread Beartown because I really remember it. It was so, so good. So I would love to get back to this one too. This Washington Post said, a lyrical look at how a community heals, how families recover, and how individuals grow. So they have one person that left the team apparently for this book, and then they have a new coach. And so we'll see how that all goes because, sometimes that can really disrupt sports teams. So the next one, The Raging Storm and Cleves. This is the Two Rivers series. So we have Three Pines, Two Rivers. Third in Matthew Venn. This one is an arc I got, and I think it came out in 2023. So I've had it for a while. I feel bad about that. And I would like to get to this. And I think this is a third and final read, but I don't know if she might change her mind. She's written the Vera somebody series as well, but I haven't read that one. That one's really long. This one is about Matthew Venn. He and his husband live there. don't know if his husband will make an appearance in this one or not, but probably. But a celebrity comes to their town and they are all kind of excited about this, and then he dies somehow. And so then Matthew Venn is expected, obviously, to solve that. Matthew Venn doesn't like returning to this place, but he does it because he's a good detective. So there's always some angst about that, though. This one would also fulfill the prompt of blue tones. So I guess I'm going to, if I read this one, then I'm going to use this for beautiful cover because it is. And then this one could go with blue tones, and it could probably go with bold type too if I wanted to double up. But also to fulfill the prompt of bold type, I could use this one, which is The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. This is really a big book. This would be another big book summer read, although I'm not going to be able to finish this before September 1 and won't even start it probably. But I would really like to get back to this Robert Langdon series. I enjoyed the first several very, very much, and is it one or two I've already read? I think it's two. It's not several, but I don't know a whole lot about this. I don't want to know a whole lot about this. If you want to know more about this book, I would read the synopsis because I'm trying really hard not to read the synopsis, but I really loved the first couple. It's about clues and mysteries and codes and secrets and dastardly people, and I can't wait to get back to this. I hope when I start it that I really kind of remember all the other things that I may have forgotten, but I'm sure I do because those stuck with me as well. They were some of my favorites ever. All right, I'm not sure that this will fit any of the prompts. I mean, I think it's a beautiful cover, but we shall see. I'm not so worried about the bingo prompts as I am about reading a bunch of books. So this is chunky, Marble Hall Murders. This is the, I think, final one in this series by Anthony Horowitz. Actually, if I were to read this and it is the final one, I would have completed that series, which would make me happy. It's again a real chunker. So my big book summer will continue for the rest of the year, apparently, over almost 600 pages. But these are all Susan Ryland novels. There's, again, only three of them, and I love Susan Ryland as a character. I don't want to know or say, I do know a little bit about how this begins because I read the synopsis, but I don't want to say it here because I don't want to spoil anything for those of you who want to start with book one or are still on book two. But I will say that Susan Ryland is back, and she is, of course, reading and editing Atticus Punn's series books that were written by her boss. And she's, kind of carrying on with her life. Meanwhile, there's another book, Punn's Last Case, which is why I guess we should know that this was the last book in the series. And so it's a book within a book, and it is delightful, and I love these. They're fast reads for me, even though they're so big. But again, I love that it's her story of what's happening, and then you read the book that she's editing. So I can't ask for more than that. It's fantastic. If I were to stick with Horowitz, though, a little shorter one would be A Line to Kill, which is the next one for me in this series. This is book 3. Again, all these covers are really pretty and bright. They're modeled after each other, so that makes it fun. But this is about Horowitz himself, so he's a meta character in this because he is the author of this book and some others, of course. And he is his real self in the novel. He is playing a person who's an author that was hired by this kind of unlikable guy who's been in all these others as well. So his name is Hawthorne, Daniel Hawthorne. And they're invited to a literary festival in this book. And of course, they go to the literary festival, and because Hawthorne hired Anthony Horowitz in the beginning to write a book for him, or to ghost write a book for him, as I remember. So that's why they're invited to a literary festival. But of course, when they get there, something terrible happens and they have to investigate a murder. I love these too. I would love to get back to these. I haven't read any of the Sherlock Holmes ones that he's written or anything else, but I absolutely love those. So great pile of possibilities there. Okay. This one could fulfill the prompts of fall colors, but also illustrated cover. This is pretty. I feel so bad about this book. This is the Bat by Yo Nesbo. This is the one my cousin recommended to me. When I did a video about reading like my cousins, I read the other two that his wife and daughter read or recommended, and I did not read this one, and I still want to get to it. This is the first in this series, and I hear it's really, really good. This is Inspector Harry Hole, so that's the series as well. And Harry Hole is sent to Sydney to look into something that happened there, a murder case. And I guess he's really kind of used to, because it says he's asked to stay out of trouble. So I guess he's used to getting himself into a bit of a pickle. But when he gets there, there's another detective, I think, that becomes one of his friends, but he's also one of the witnesses to this murder, who was a 23-year-old Norwegian woman who was a minor celebrity. So that's kind of a theme here in two of these novels, but I would love to get this one done. I could take this one on the flight too. 367 or 8 pages, not a lot. If I were to read this one, this is the first in this series. So this one and the next two are number one. I will say that I'm hesitant to start a new series until I make some progress with the rest of these. So I want to get to this one. I'd like to get to this one by the end of the year. I may get to it in September. I may not. We shall see. This is a book club pick for Krista, who's I'm on her Patreon group, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to read this. I think we're meeting about it very soon, but this is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I started this when it first came out. I was very excited. I bought it right away, and I didn't really like it at that time, and I didn't finish it, but I didn't think I wasn't ever going to go back to it, so I've kept it. 2022, this came out. I think the problem I had with it is that he breaks the fourth wall, which of course also Horowitz does too in the series I just told you about with Hawthorne. But no, he doesn't really, because he's telling this story and he's telling it to you as though he's writing this novel about what happened. So it's very different, I would say. This is his experience, and he tells you things he knows as a current character, and it's just different. I don't know why, but I'm going to give it a try again at some point. I haven't gotten rid of it. I don't know why. If you know why and what I need to think about in order to like this novel more, let me know, because I'd be happy to figure that out, because people love this. Jane Harper has blurbed this, absolutely loved it, she said. Karen Slaughter says it's absolutely not to be missed. But it is about a man whose family have all kind of been criminal activities, and they are pretty cutthroat, and they've all killed somebody. And it starts out when his brother, I think, is in some trouble because of something that he's done, and they all meet at this retreat place, and somehow or another they all, I guess, I don't know what their motive is for all being at the retreat place. Maybe it's to save the brother, I don't know, but lots of weird things start to happen. I don't even think I got maybe 50 pages in, because I'm looking at chapter 9. It's funny, I will say that. I remember it being funny, so we'll see. I may give this a try. So this could fulfill the prompt of a blue cover for sure. It's definitely illustrated. Yeah, I think that probably would be it, but it would work. It would work. Maybe moody and dark. Maybe Nesbo's is moody and dark. That's kind of a dark Sydney, Australia cover, but I don't know, maybe not. I'm not worried so much about those as I am about just reading a bunch of good books. And then the last one, speaking of Jane Harper, is The Dry. So this is the first in this series as well, Aaron Falk's series. I've had the other two on my shelves for a bit, and I never did buy The Dry, so obviously I never started those. And I recently said I need to start at the beginning here or unhaul these books. So I got this from a great seller on Pango, and I have had it now for, I don't know, I got it this year, but it's been on my backlist to read for a long time, so I'm going to count this as a backlist read as well. So this one is, like I said, the first in the Aaron Falk series, and he's a federal agent, and he returns home, and because his best friend in childhood is dead, Luke, he's died, and so he returns home, and because he's an investigator in some ways, he's always kind of connected with these crimes. Also, Luke's entire family has been murdered as well. But what happens is Falk gets a note that says, Luke lied, you lied, be at the funeral. And so he, of course, returns home, even if he might not have wanted to. And this is very moody and dark cover. For sure, that would fulfill that prompt. Fall colors as well. And I can't wait to get to this. I really was sort of rekindled my desire to read this when I got it and reread the synopsis. So I'd love that too. But again, my priorities are going to be the ones I have already started the series. So this is a lot. I know. Let me know if you're participating in Series September, and if you are, what is it that you're considering reading, if you'd like to share, or which of these you might have already read. I'd love to know your thoughts about any of these series and how far you've gotten in them. If you don't want to comment, then you can always add something that kind of affiliates with one of these prompts. So for example, you could, for the dark academia or light academia, sorry, you could use like a school book or something that reminds you of that. You could use fall leaves, you could use blue things, you could use trees or things in nature. So really there's a lot you could do in terms of your emojis. And I love when you guys get creative and I get to see what you chose. So please do that if you don't have a comment to leave. If you're new to this channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. If you want to stay here with this community, they're fantastic. If you don't, or even if you are a subscriber, if you want to like this video, then it gets, a little bit of a boost in the algorithm, which some of us, are worried about more than others. Obviously, I'm not completely worried about that, but I definitely do mention it now and again because it is nice to see that you've liked it. Most of you like them just because you want me to know that you liked them, so I appreciate that too. And that's a good reason to hit the like button. All right, guys, enjoy September. I'll be back soon with a lot of other shares and a lot of other books, but this one is really something I'm anticipating and looking very forward to. So I hope you are too. And as always, happy reading. Bye.